Hey, the rep's coming down and she's bringing the Arby's. What y'all gonna want? Just got off of work. Just had a little team building event. Had a few beers. Last night I finished Widow's Bay season 1. I saw the finale. What a terrific show! What a great show! I can't believe it. I've been seeing stuff about this show for a little while. But eventually, I was like, time to check it out. I started when episode 9 was released. I started that day, so I started a week ago. And I love seeing a show that is actually recommended that is actually good, that is actually worth watching. I guess I'll just go, first off, I'll just say, the cast, really good. Matthew Rhys, phenomenal. I really haven't seen anything that he's in. Besides, I really haven't seen anything that he's in. He's in like Perry Mason and shit. I've never actually watched it. That was kind of better though. It's kind of better to come into a show and have never, seen the main character in much at all. Yeah, he's not really in shit. Matthew Rhys is fucking dope. Great lead. I really enjoyed most of his shit. He illustrates like the pain of this guy. He illustrates like cowardice in a way that is just very, it's not like too much where you're like, buddy, come on, like I don't know, it's I feel like it's difficult to portray a coward that you can root for, but he does it very well. Let's just go through some people. Stephen Root as Wick, he's pretty fucking good. He's just, he's a good little like town kook where he's like, oh, the fog, you gotta turn on the sirens, the fog's gonna kill us all, oh my god. But he was pretty good. The cast isn't really much to talk about besides Matthew Rhys and Kate O'Flynn. Kate O'Flynn, who plays Patricia, is phenomenal. She's so fucking good. Honestly, if I think about, because I don't want to go into like, I can't decide like what to say about her, but I loved her performance all the time. She's just like this mousy kind of woman, but she's also very determined and kind of, she gives a fuck what people think, but she also is kind of just weird, and she displays that weirdness very well. And I don't know, her episodes, the episodes that focused mostly on her, were my favorite episodes of the whole season. Kevin Carroll's pretty good. Dale Dickey, she's pretty good. His son, Kingston Rumi Southwick, played Evan. Buddy, he didn't really do much, so I won't really shit on him that hard. He didn't really like lead episodes, so it's fine. He's fine. He plays a bitchy son very well, and he like a very bratty kid that you're like, God, this kid fucking sucks. That's well, and especially at the end, you got like a little hint of him, becoming more than just that stupid teen. I don't know, we'll have to see more next season. As far as episodes go, episode 1 I felt started kind of slow. If I didn't know the premise of the show, I probably would have been a little put off by the first episode. It's not bad by any means. It's just that, like, I don't know, you're kind of like, what the fuck is happening? And the whole show's kind of like, what the fuck is happening? But you're waiting for something to start happening at the beginning of the show. And I don't fault it, because I recently had somebody tell me that The Sopranos, the pilot of The Sopranos, is kind of like one of the weaker pilots they've ever seen. Buddy. I don't want to... Buddy. Anyways, what a pilot needs to do primarily is display the world and the characters as effectively as it possibly can. Just setting up what world we're in, what it's like, what the characters believe, what are the rules of the story, the overarching character traits for your cast. And I feel like it does that very well. It introduces mainly everybody you need to know, but I still was like, it was just a little slow, but it's a good first episode still. It's fine. It's good. But starting episode 2, oh my mouth is so dry. Holy fuck. Starting episode 2, you get into the nitty gritty of this shit. You get exactly what you came here for. So episode 2 is that hotel episode. Instantly, as I was watching this show, each episode became my favorite. Each episode became my favorite, which is what you want. That's a great fucking feeling to have when you're watching a new series. Episode 1, I was like, all right, I got these characters a little slow. Episode 2, boom, knocked out of the park. the hotel thing with the the clown guy, and he's got to stay in the hotel after night. Spoilers, by the way. He has to stay in the hotel overnight. He has to record what possible spooky things happen. You know, I thoroughly enjoyed that one, and you got a little bit more of the town and how the town is. Because at first it seems like it's just Wick who's like, the fog, sound the alarm, the sirens, oh my god. But in episode 2, you see that like a lot of the town believes in these superstitions and these legends and shit, and they're the ones that give him like the list of things to go through when he's staying in the hotel. Moving on to episode 3. Episode 3, even better than episode 2. Episode 3 was fucking crazy. You had the hag, you know, that whole thing, and I love how it coincides with or it runs parallel to episode 4. You hear the phone call when Patricia calls him and she's like, I'm at the event that you were supposed to be at. And the phone call at the end where the cop's like, you know, we're gonna go, get down here, what the fuck is going on? I have no idea. I'm fucking dying. I'm about to fall asleep. The good thing, I'm rethinking this, and that episode is so good. Episode 3, oh my gosh, with the opening of the ocean, you know, when he goes and swims in the water in front of all the people, and then you have the hag out there. And just a lot of psychological things and spookiness, you know, overall spookiness. And the whole encounter with that woman, the woman that was like hitting on him, that actually, you know, was trying to sleep with him, that he perceived to be a part of it all. You know, he perceived to be like a part of the hag's magic. Which, I mean, could you blame him? The way she was at the door, the way she was answering the door was like fucking weird as shit. You were like, what the fuck? Like, I can't blame him. And then the hag, everything with the hag is fucking awesome. All up to Wick saving him is fucking cool. Episode 4, even better than the last one. Episode 4 was fucking nuts. When I first saw it, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, my favorite episodes of the series so far are Patricia centered episodes. That episode was so fucking good. I was like, wow. Patricia's actress, I've already forgot her name. Her performance is just really admirable. It's just you know, you feel bad for her, but then you're asking, you know, is she really lying about the story? Like, why was she, I don't know. She's just a very quirky, weird character, and she's really cool. But the whole party, it felt like a Goosebumps episode or something. Like, you find like this book that does this stuff to you. I really love how the show is so varied in its approaches to horror and different horror tropes and genres that it does every episode. Episode 5 is the mushroom trip episode, right? Yes, I believe so. I believe episode 5 is the mushroom trip episode. That episode is, it's a little weird. It's a little, and you might even say it's a little played out. It's like, oh, that somebody's tripping on mushrooms the whole time. But, you know, the thing I like about films and television episodes that do stuff like this is I do like the experimentation that they're given. You know, they can actually do something weird. They can shoot things weird, play with time. I wouldn't say I liked it as much as the last 3, but it was still a good episode. It was still very, very much worth it. Episode 6, I fell asleep halfway through episode 6. I think it's the weakest episode of the whole season. Just because, look, I loved seeing Jodie Comer show up. That was cool. It's cool to see Jodie Comer. You're like, oh, fuck yeah. Just all this shit back in time with, like, the fucking Salem era. I just didn't care for it. And it's like the town leader who's already kind of boring, and I don't know. It was fine. But I fell asleep through it. I fell asleep halfway through it. And it was a good backstory for the rest of the season, but it wasn't probably my least favorite episode of the whole season. Episode 7 is it picks back up with Tom. And I think his name's Tom, right? It picks back up with him after the mushroom trip. He finds Patricia and Wick, and they have the, 600-year-old or like 400-year-old guy that's still alive somehow. And it's the whole thing where they take him to the fucking ocean and try to kill him, And I guess they do kill him. That episode is fine. It was fine. Probably my second least favorite episode of the season. Episode 8 is my second favorite of the whole season. That was, or at least tied with the hag. That was fucking awesome episode. Like I said, Patricia episodes are the best ones so far. They're so good. And that's not discounting Tom's episode, the mayor. She's just phenomenal. She's so good. What was his name? The Boogeyman or something? Definitely my second favorite episode of the whole season. I can't even really, I don't know. I loved setting up all the backstory of her and like what she had to deal with in high school with this previous Boogeyman thing, and now she's actually dealing with it, and her just I guess killing it. She like shoots it with a fucking shotgun, and then I loved like the cuts of frames where she's holding the shotgun on it while they're burning the body. Yeah, and then you also have this episode kind of gets the cop into what's going on, adds him to the list of people that are worrying about this curse going on the island. Episode 9, I can't really remember much about episode 9 besides the fact that it's the episode where I believe Tom comes home and him and his son like read that all the letters and shit from his mom. I think that's what happened in that episode. I'm pretty sure that's where Evan finds out about his mom and all the shit, and all that stuff is really good. And I really love Matthew Rhys's performance there when he's, talking about how that person that he's reading all those letters from, that's not his mother, and he tries to convey how his mother actually was and how she made him feel and how much she loved him. That stuff mixed with the elements of Rosemary breaking down the family lineage of... What was the fucking founder of the town's name? But anyways, the founder of the town breaking down his lineage and then finding out, that it's Ruth. That Ruth is the last descendant of this guy. I was like, well, shit, at least it's her. And then, and I was like, but this is too easy, And then last night, rolling into the 10th episode 10, the storm's fully raging. Everybody's in the bunker. So last week when I finished watching it, I thought, how is there going to be a season 2? And I feel like this episode answered enough questions and then raised more. Obviously there's season 2. And there will be, it's confirmed. All of Tom's... Is his name Tom? I think his name is Tom. If I'm wrong about that, I'm sorry. Tom's entire... I guess he spends the whole episode with Ruth. And it's so good. The show balances like comedy and horror so well where, of course he has to do this terrible thing. He has to kill Ruth to save the town and save his child, because, once the bloodline's cut off, then people can leave the island. The curses will stop. And he has to kill her, but he shows up to her house, of course. Of course, she's like the nicest old lady on earth. She's the epitome of the word Good Samaritan. She's participating in everything. She's very active. She's not like keeling over. She's very, energized. She's running up the stairs. She's helping her elderly neighbors like get down the stairs and shit during lunch. It's crazy. And then of course she reveals that she had a secret child. And her secret fucking baby, her secret daughter, was Tom's wife. And so, evidently, Evan, Tom's son, is the last remaining descendant, of course. I knew it. When I was watching it, I was like, I knew it. I knew it wasn't going to be that easy. I didn't know it would be like that. I didn't know it would play out like that. But I knew that it was too easy for it to just be Ruth, and that would... I figured there would be another descendant, or that he would kill Ruth and it wouldn't stop. That's where we're at. And then all the stuff that happened in the bunker, in the emergency shelter, that was enough to be like, what the fuck is going on, bro? So I guess we got clarification on what the bells mean, or what the bells kind of entail. For each bell toll, that's a soul that the island requires or something, you see the old like reels of them explaining like what it's like to be a sacrifice and what the sacrifices are doing for the community, and it's keeping this thing at bay, and he says we hope for a long and peaceful slumber or something. And so now the islands woke up. That shit was crazy. Whatever Evan discovered, what is down there, bro? Like I completely forgot about the electric chair that was shown somewhere in like episode 2 or 3. I completely forgot about it. I was like, what the fuck is that? Of course we found it again this episode, but now I'm just like, what is in the basement of the bunker? What's in the tunnels? Like, what is that thing in that hatch that ate that guy? or did something with him. You know, I'm very much excited for season 2. I think it's a great show. I think Apple TV is pretty damn good at what they do. You know, I just started watching Pluribus. I want to start watching the Cape Fear remake. You know, this has inspired me to watch more on Apple TV because I'd heard so much about this, and I think it's a tremendous show. I think it's probably a, you know, it's a peak first season. It really is. It's amazing. I think some of the best horror that has been made in the last 10 years has been on television. It really has. It's been, I mean, I know it's all streaming, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's series based horror and, you know, not movies. I think that's really true, and this is another example of that. I'm surprised like Mike Flanagan didn't have his hands on this at some point or some shit. I don't know. It's just a great, it reminds me of Mike Flanagan. It reminds me of like Sam Raimi a lot of times too. It's really cool. I really enjoyed it. If I had to rate it out of 10, I would give this first season a 9 out of 10. You know, besides, if it wasn't for episode 6 being a little boring, and, you know, I'm not going to blame episode 1 for it, but mainly episode 6. 9 out of 10. It's very, very, very good.
So what y'all want from Arby's?